What's up, everyone, and welcome to Shared Save the Games Media weekly gaming discussion podcast. My name is Kevin. I am your host, and as always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Sam Heaney. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm terribly tired. That's how it goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some good discussion coming this episode. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and been playing lots of games, keeping myself busy. The Patreon's got a little tease of that.
Mm-hmm.
But breaking news as well here today, which I'll talk about shortly. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. We were chatting before the show. I'm just getting through work. It's kind of, I got the holidays coming up. Like once we get after like really next week, my weeks are basically like 2-3 day weeks, if that, and then like I'm gone for a while. Like next week is basically vacation almost. So I'm
Nice.
kind of in that mood. Yeah, just if you're not on the Patreon, I showed off. Well, it was an audio only show, so nobody actually saw anything. I acquired a bunch of gaming games, consoles, VR accessories. I have a whole public spreadsheet I put out on all the social media. I'm selling all this stuff, all right, acquiring the funds. So I've been shipping things. The UPS store is sick of seeing my face at this point because I'm going there like daily, dropping off packages. But making some money, so I'm happy about that.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so this is Shared Save. We are weekly here at Save the Game Media. Uh, if you want to catch us live, Thursdays right here on youtube.com/save the game media at 7 p.m. Eastern time, except next week when we will be here, but we won't be doing our podcast. We'll be live reacting to the Game Awards because that is next Thursday, if you can actually believe that. And for podcast listeners, not YouTube watchers, you can get our free audio on Sundays on all major audio platforms. While you're over there, we would appreciate you dropping us those reviews. It does help us in those algorithms. If you want to support us even further, get early audio access to all of our content and exclusive content like our monthly Q&A, like the ability to write in topics for the public shows, like your exclusive Shared Save episode that only Patreon members get. Go over to patreon.com/save the game media. Choose a tier that's right for you, like our current supporters. So thank you to Sam Hall, Alpaca Tom, Rick Davis, Silkinit, Dave Harp, David Hotright, Lillian, Marcus O'Neill, Brendan Myers, aka the Winter Gamer, Nikolai Knight, Fabulous Brianna, Brandon Black Wyver, and David Burdett, who is a new patron because there's never been a better time to sign up for patreon.com/save the game media. I posted this on socials. It's also in our Discord. So you have multiple ways. There is a limited number available, but there are still some available. I know this for a fact of free 1 month memberships. You go click the link, you claim your reward, you get a free month. You can check out all our exclusive content that you've missed over the last couple of months. And once those run out, if they run out, all right, you have the entire month of December to claim this, all right? Once those run out, we have another promotion going on where you can get 50% off any tier, any tier. So Alpaca Tom and I know David Burdett came in at the family plan tier we have over there, a little nod to Nintendo. That's our highest tier. So they get some emotes in the Discord, and David gets his content promoted on our show for a month or as long as he's subscribed. So in the description of this video, you can check out gaming trend and David Burdett's social media. All his articles gets posted over there. He does reviews, fantastic work. I think his last review was Call of Duty, if I remember correctly. So go check him out. Yeah, appreciate everyone supporting us and appreciate the new Patreon members. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Sam, that is housekeeping out of the way. So I'm going to say hi to the chat here. Silking it, I see hanging out with us. Good to see you, buddy. Why don't we jump into what have we been playing? I see you have been playing everything.
Literally every game ever made, ever. No, but as I suggested just moments ago, I showed revealed on the
Oh,
Patreon exclusive
he
episode.
died. Uh,
I didn't die. I didn't die. Kevin has died. Breaking news, everyone. He's gone. He's gone. It's over. It's Jova, everyone. It's Jova. It's so Jova. Because Kev's gone. Let's just gather around, everyone.
Hello?
Oh, he's back.
I don't. You froze on my end,
I mean, you froze on my end, but
and
I
then
think it might have been a you thing because everyone in the chat is saying I was fine.
oh, all right. I don't. Apologies, guys. Now I gotta edit the audio. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god!
I have to do work after this podcast. So I didn't hear anything you said.
I did stop very
Okay.
early in. So, but yes, on the Patreon episode, I revealed that in the Black Friday sales, I did grab myself a Steam Deck. I was I'd spoken to you. I said maybe I would
Mm-hmm.
help out with some IGN work. Means I can get away from the desk. I've got a healthy Steam library, so I pulled the trigger, and I've just been playing a lot on that. So I'm not even going to talk about what I've been playing because I've just been sort of dabbling, trying a lot of things. Highlights, as I said on the Patreon episode, Chia, Ori, and the Blind Forest. Been playing some like Total War real-time strategy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then lots of indies, just small things. So yes, having a very nice time with the Steam Deck, I must
Love to
admit.
hear it.
Yeah.
Is it selling you on a Steam machine? Perhaps I know we both have PCs, but like having that experience of like couch gaming, perhaps.
I don't think so,
No.
because like I know that I will get the PlayStation 6 when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So like that will invariably become the sort of more relaxed, laid back experience for gaming. And then I've got the PC for work, and then the Steam Deck is sort of like a hybrid in between thing. If PlayStation does a handheld, which it seems that they are, I'll also get that. So I'll have plenty of options.
Mm-hmm.
If the Steam machine turns out to be great and it's not priced egregiously, I could see myself picking one up down the line, but not at launch.
Well, I hear that everything is going to go up because AI is using all the RAM.
Apparently so. Selfish. So selfish.
I know.
Sure it'll pay off though, right? Definitely not gonna blow
It's
up in our
worth it.
faces.
Yeah, it's worth it once we all lose our jobs and
Yeah.
we get to look at AI slop for ages on end. Yeah.
Chef's kiss. But the other things that I actually have been playing worthy of note, I went back after your recent comments, clearing up the backlog now that Outer Worlds 2 is far in the rearview mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I cleared up and platinumed Silent Hill 2 Remake.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
did another playthrough and a half of that.
Wow.
And
Quick.
yeah, I mean, I I really like it. I think that there are major flaws, um, that admittedly are like in some way apparent in in like the original game,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, it's like I said when we were talking about it before, it's the vibes and the atmosphere of the game that gels with me the most, and that carried it for me, which I know it wouldn't necessarily for others, including yourself. So cleared that up, got that out of the way, all done. And the other one, Lego Horizon Adventures.
Oh, I thought you said you weren't gonna play. I feel like I remember asking you, and you're like, nah.
Yeah, I was like I don't think so. But then, dropped for free on PlayStation Plus. I couldn't help myself
I claimed it
because
too. So
major fan of Horizon. I will defend it to the bitter end. I've got a Lego tall neck up on the
I see it. Yeah, yeah.
shelf behind. Yeah, and more Lego Horizon over there as well. It's exactly what I said it was going to be when I said I wasn't going to play it. Where it's like I wish it was just a regular Lego game,
Mm-hmm.
but it is like this weird alternate version of a Lego game that's very linear and um, not a lot of replayability. But I can't lie, I did enjoy going through, like, the story of it. I might clean it up for the platinum, I'm not sure because it
How
seems
long
a
did
bit
it take you?
um, maybe, like, 7 or 8 hours.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, pretty short actually for a Lego game. They're typically, like, 15, 20 hours maybe. So, yeah, really nice and swift little thing. It seems like if you want 100% it, it's gonna be a bit of a grind, so I'm not
Mm,
certain on that, but I probably will, knowing me. So that's what I've been playing. A whole lot. It doesn't sound like a lot, but there's a lot of things in that Steam Deck
hmm
category, I assure you.
I can imagine. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Maybe I'll check out Lego Horizon at some point. I mean, I do have an opening for
Mm,
from now until mid January for games. So we'll see what's on the docket. But I have wrapped up Yakuza Kiwami 2. So
nice.
I am done with my Yakuza pilgrimage for now. Kiwami 3 comes out in February, I believe. Won't get that at launch. I'll probably wait for that to go on a sale, and then maybe Kiwami 4 will be out at that point. But I am going to continue playing, especially after Kiwami 2, which I think is really, in terms of the Kiryu games, the highlight of the
Oh,
series so far.
okay.
Um, I think they really stepped up the not only production value in terms of going from 1 to 2, and these are obviously remakes, but it just they created a whole new engine, the dragon engine for it. Combat feels so much better. The RPG mechanics, like the skill trees, is I think it's much I don't know how to say it, like more refined almost, because in the
Mm,
earlier games they were like, oh, you'll earn money and then you can unlock like certain actions with amounts of money, and here it's more like you get skill points, but you get skill points for completing just random objectives, like, oh, open 10 lockers in the world, which requires you like find keys and open lockers, eat at restaurants a certain number of times, and you can like increase the amount of bonuses you get. You can increase the strength of your character, and then you could like just blow past the limits. So like, I don't know, I just thought it was much more of an RPG, just felt better to play overall, and the story is absolutely phenomenal, like a real step up from the even I would say 0, which I think has a really good later half of the story. 1 is obviously like their first attempt basic, but I think 2 is absolutely phenomenal. So really
mm,
loved it.
nice.
And then I didn't put this on the sheet. I didn't put this on the sheet. Wanted to surprise you. I have played Banjo Kazooie Mumbo Mania. uh, for those unfamiliar, this is a Banjo Kazooie game that was made in Dreams, Media Molecules dead now, I guess, platform, game creation platform. But
Mhm,
I think their name is Euphalace Games. They're apparently a Dreams creator. Made about I would say maybe 1 to 2-ish hour Banjo Kazooie experience. It's very light, but it's very charming. It's very good, to be
mm,
honest. Like, it feels good to play. They don't have the sound effects quite nailed. Like, banjo sounds probably a little like gruffier than he should, but
right.
like you can tell like a lot of love went into getting these sound effects, creating the character models. Like, it's not just some thrown together like, oh, we want to make a banjo game, but here's some slop that resembles it. Like, no, things are put in the world in specific places. Like, it has the banjo feel, like the dialogue feels like it's something that Rare would have done. I really loved, like, I didn't do 100% it. I just went kind of through it because it was a short experience, but like I had a good time just playing through it and like seeing the world he crafted. My only
Mm,
complaint is that he relies a lot on the motion controls of the dual sense.
right.
For like in this one, Banjo can transform using the power of Mumbo Jumbo, and I don't know if I love that because like you have a floating like skull the whole time and you have to aim with the dual sense and then like hit the button. That was a little awkward. I'm always
Sure.
iffy on motion controls, but it was a fun enough experience. It just made me sad because I was like, we're never getting another Banjo game.
Well, Rare acknowledged it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right. Hire the man.
I think that's the most that they've ever. What? Well, I might be wrong, but isn't the guy that did it part of Moon Studios? I think he is.
I don't know. Let me look. He liked my tweet saying I was gonna go play it.
Because
So let me.
I saw what's the studio director? Thomas something.
Yes, yeah, I don't remember his last name, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet from him saying that this is one of my guys essentially that did this in his downtime.
Yes, he's a level designer at Moon Studios.
Yeah.
That's so he's like a no wonder he's a legit game creator using dreams in his downtime. That's wild.
Well, there you go. Oh, is that right? Did I just see that?
What?
Is there a Thomas Nala, his tweet? Is that legit? I just saw a picture. You put out a tweet saying if Rare wanted to give them the license or something.
Excuse me?
Is that right? Where did that
go?
go?
You're messing with me, yeah?
Am I going mad?
You're playing a joke on me? You think this is funny? Is this funny to you?
I swear I just saw that. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong.
He says he is moving away from dreams projects, so this is like his last. He says, since numerous people have asked, Mumbo Mania is just one level. There are no plans to add any more. I'd like to move away from dream projects now. So unless I get the opportunity to work on an official Banjo 3, this is it for now. Wow. Greg Mails recently left Rare, who worked on Banjo, retweeted this and is very happy with it.
There you go. That's the endorsement of the guy who did Banjo. So,
God, I would love if something actually like happened from that. Like, but I doubt it. But I would just love it. I would just love it.
Yeah.
But that's all I've been playing. I don't know what's up next for me. There's some things on my Steam library. Maybe I'll dive into, or maybe I'll go to PlayStation for Lego Horizon or any of those other games that they just gave away. Who knows? We'll have to see. But why don't we jump into? We're gonna start with the Patreon topic this week, Sam.
Oh.
And it's from our new patron, David Burdett, who says, grade each of the big three this year: PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. Thought this would be we're coming towards the end of the year. I thought this would be a good look back. Obviously, we don't have to go through everything, but we can obviously hit the major talking points, I think, for each of these three platforms and give them how we feel they did in 2025. So, where would you like to start?
That's I mean, shocker. I think PlayStation, because it might be one of the easier ones to grade.
Ones. Yeah.
So are we using a letter grading system, I assume, or is it an out of 10?
I think letter grading, like A, B, C, D, F.
I think I'd give PlayStation just a flat A. It's not an A. It's not an A plus. It's not an S. But I think with the A, I'm going to include Death Stranding too.
Yeah, it's a published. Yeah,
sure.
Sony published game. Yeah.
But I think that and Yote together, both doing very well, being received well. I think that places it at just like a solid good year. I think both of those games are above average, which would bump it up from like an A minus or a B. I think we'll talk about this in the weeks to come. I really love Yote. You know,
Hmm.
I have the collector's edition behind me. But I think that something that prevents maybe the grade from being an A plus or an S is that Yote is pretty much exactly what I wanted, but not quite what I hoped. And that's not a bad thing by any means. I think it's just that it was I it feels I was whelmed by Yote.
Hmm.
It didn't exceed or underwhelm me. It just sort of met my expectations. I think that inherently with that, there is a degree of like, oh, if you'd only this tiny bit more. But Death Stranding 2, like for me personally, like really hard carries this year. So I feel pretty comfortable cementing my grade for PlayStation as an A.
Interesting. Okay. I don't think I'm quite as high on PlayStation. Um, oh, Nicholas Jackson or Johnson. I always say Nicholas Jackson. That's one of our, I think, no, Andrew Jackson is the president. Nicholas Johnson, good to see you. He says, I stepped away. I missed what the grading is for. So we're grading Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation's 2025 respectfully. So we're on PlayStation right now. You gave it an A.
Mhm.
I think I would give it for me,
Mhm.
a B plus.
Okay.
And that is when I look at PlayStation, neither of their big exclusives appealed to me this year
Yep.
as opposed to last year. They did have some smaller exclusives, which I did play and enjoy. Lost Soul Side was one of those. In terms of their big exclusives, as we said, were Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. They had some smaller things like Days Gone Remastered came out this year, right? Which
Mhm.
kind of came and went, kind of a nothing burger. They really did rely on those third parties, but I don't inherently think that matters much these days because Xbox has kind of stepped away. And I think one of the big reasons, like I can't give them an A because I don't think they knocked it out of the park with the amount of content PlayStation Studios put out, but
Sure.
I do think they had a pretty good year because this further cemented like more Xbox games coming to the platform. You're pulling away even more for in console sales. Like your the PS5 Pro came out last year, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So like you're seeing hardware success. You're lined up for the future. Like next year looks really good, I think, from PlayStation. So I would give them a B plus. I think they've kind of laid the groundwork this year. They've just kind of continued. Nothing super remarkable, but nothing detrimental this year happened, I don't think. And they've
Yeah.
improved cloud gaming. I think that's something that should be highlighted as we talked about with the PlayStation Portal. Like there's just a lot of under the radar stuff that I think adds up to a pretty good year.
Yeah. And I you know, I think obviously my grade was like almost solely on the software. I think if I encapsulate the ecosystem as a whole, it probably for them is like an A plus year. Um, because, you know, like you say, they just sort of cemented themselves fully. And I think that it's not for nothing. It's moving very, very quickly over the past few months, even. We are seeing Sony sort of metamorphize a little bit, you know, leaning back into their Japanese
Hmm.
heritage, doing the Japanese only state of play, doing the promotions over there. We're seeing like Japanese awards things happening, and new partnerships with studios, hero projects paying off. I think that this year, whilst admittedly lighter on like we say first party content than we'd maybe like, I think that this has been a both a reset year for them in a way, and we are now, I think, on the hopefully cusp of things really kicking into high gear again, starting next year. We are getting the bigger exclusives, and we'll maybe hear about more of them in the weeks and months to come. So
Hmm. Yeah, I'm happy putting PlayStation in that area again. Not a crazy year for them,
no,
but steady, steady.
yeah,
Why don't we go to Nintendo next? Because I think Xbox might probably be the most contentious one
hmm,
that we grade. Nintendo obviously released a new console in 2025. The Switch 2 came out in June, so it has been. I think tomorrow is 6 months exactly from its release date. So we are in the first half of its first year on the market, and I think like they're obviously happy with the Switch 2 sales success from a console perspective. Like it's selling better than the Switch 1 was at this point. They've upped the production cycle. I think people can feel a little disappointed in the software that's been available when you compare it to what the Switch had at launch, right? Like you had Breath of the Wild, the Mario Odyssey came soon after, right? I personally don't feel disappointed in the Switch 2's current software from a first party perspective. Certainly, I even think third party has done quite well. You have things like Cyberpunk that run really well
mm,
on Switch 2. Ubisoft has knocked it out of the park with their ports. Assassin's Creed Shadows runs really well. It is 30 FPS, but runs really well, like solid. Star Wars Outlaws really impressed me how that ran on Switch 2. So like we're seeing the Switch 2 kind of show like, hey, this is a capable, not as good as maybe Xbox PS5, but is a capable machine. 4K can do up to 120. So they've had things like Mario Kart World, which is a good game, not a great game. You have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a phenomenal game, like one of the best games this year. And then we get things like Kirby, we get things like Hyrule Warriors, Metroid Prime literally came out today. So like I just don't see how people can look at the first 6 months and you have at least 5 major first party titles that come out and be disappointed in that. So for me, I think Nintendo is probably an A, especially because I'm not even talking about like NSO has really been good this year. Like I played Luigi's Mansion, like the GameCube selection, the commitment to keep continuing to add older games for NSO, Game Boy. Like I feel like they've done a really good job this year.
yeah. I think I would place them again with the context of me being completely out of the ecosystem. I'd probably place them at an A as well. I think there is an argument that I could make from a like slightly more critical standpoint, of like an A minus. But that would be really like nitpicking
Mm-hmm.
of, again, not having played any of these things, looking at some of the software, especially like Mario Kart as like the launch title, and that seemingly on the whole, even though it's obviously done incredibly well sales wise, underwhelming in terms of delivery for fans of the game. And then take what you will, subjective opinion mixed on Metroid. It seems, Kirby. I don't know that they were expecting it to be this massive thing, but it's like that. But then you can't take away from the the Donkey Kongs of the world. It's a game of the year contender. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and I think the critique I would maybe level against it, which I could level against pretty much any of these companies or brands nowadays. There has been understandably a fair amount of like nickel and diming for Switch 2 versions of games,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I'm not a massive fan of. I know that like PlayStation does the $10 upgrades
No, but we
for
we
most things, but
called it out for that. We should call it.
exactly.
Yeah,
So,
no consistency for sure.
um, but yeah, I think that it's not been like the most explosive, crazy um, launch of a new console, but I don't think anybody was necessarily expecting that. The Switch 2 was very much an iterative system, a massive upgrade, but still iterative. And I think that they pulled it off. And like you say, if you're looking at 6 months and they've delivered several titles of whatever quality from many of their major IP, then you can't complain, really. I don't think.
Yeah, and they're already set up for a good 2026. Like February, you got Mario Tennis kicking off the year. Fire Emblem's in there. You get a new Yoshi game coming, and I'm sure they have other things. So like 2026 looking strong for them as well. And we didn't even talk about like I guess if you want to count the Mario Galaxy remasters that they put
Sure, yeah.
out, and so like they've had software for sure. But yeah, there's a again, I see that chat is kind of people are all over the place with their ratings, and it's a totally subjective
Mhm.
type of exercise here. So like my B, maybe someone's a D, and your A, maybe my C. So let's move on to Xbox.
Sure.
Probably the most divisive one we want to say.
No.
Um, I want to put it out there that I think
Go.
in terms of software,
Mm.
Xbox has actually had a good year.
Mhm.
Now, none of the games Xbox put out are critical darlings or like zeitgeist making games, but they put out a lot of solid games this year. Like eights. That's where they're hanging these days, right? The 8 range, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Nope.
eights are really good games. So they put out Avowed, which I didn't love personally. It's fine. The Outer Worlds 2, which I still need to play. They put out South of Midnight, which I thought was a fine game with a beautiful soundtrack and story. Ninja Gaiden 4 they published, which I thought was really good. Keeper came out. Like I'm probably forget Elder Scrolls 4 remastered.
Doom.
Doom can't for. It's sad that I played Doom and just kind of like forgot it even
Which,
existed. Like it
yeah.
sucks because like
Yeah.
it's a fun game. I just
Yeah.
think when you compare it to something like Doom Eternal, which for me is like the best of the trilogy, it does kind of like it's more forgettable. But if you look at everything Xbox put out this year, I think you get a very good like multiple genres appealing to wider audiences, and that's not even taking into account like Game Pass, which I think what Game Pass in terms of content put out is pretty good this year. Like you
Yep.
had big indie games, Silk Song, Blueprints, you had Claire Obscura in there, right? Like then you had all their first party content. So like the content seemed to be there. I just can't look past Game Pass price increase to $30. I can't look past 2 console price increases. I can't look past them effectively conceding to PlayStation. Like, and I know there's different. I'm kind of summing up my thoughts, everyone.
Sure.
We've
Yeah, of
gone
course.
into depth well on these things, but then like they have an amazing 2026 lined up. Call of Duty flopped. I mean, that was the first Call of Duty under Xbox filled with AI, and so it's not even to mention layoffs, and which I know is an industry wide problem, but
Mhm.
Xbox, Microsoft layoffs, their AI initiatives, like there's a lot of crappy things going on at Xbox. So if we're looking at the software, which I would put at like an A, because I think the amount of games and they're all solid, I'd put there mixed with their other garbage going on, I'd probably land at like a B plus for them.
Mm.
Like just in terms of where I'm at. So
Yeah.
I think it's a very I feel like I have the exact opposite situations where I'm going to land at like the same spot for Sony and Xbox, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah. Um, mm. I don't think I'm far off of you. I probably am gonna go slightly lower, but I think I would land at maybe just like a flat B. Um, I would agree that the quantity of content that they've put out and the consistency of that content has been very impressive. They managed to maintain it throughout pretty much the entire year, which is saying a lot for Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have spoken. We both have on respective shows, and even this one about games that they've put out. I I mean this in the nicest way possible. I care far less, and I'm not saying that you don't feel this way. I don't really put much value behind quantity. I'd
Mm,
rather have one excellent game come out than 5 okay games or 5 decent good games. And I know that that is a side of the fence that you can be on either side of. I don't hold any judgment against people who look at, Game Pass and they think about, I'll take as much as you can give me. If 35% of the games don't connect with me, I don't care. That's totally people's prerogative. That's fine. I think the hitting average for me of Xbox's games this year, for however many there are, it more of missed than hit. And I don't mean miss being like bad. I just mean like sort of take it or leave it, kind of forgettable, underwhelming in certain ways.
hmm.
And there have been high spots. Like I did again, like you said, I liked Doom,
Yeah.
but it's not as good as the other ones. And like that's fine. And I think that that is a sentiment I hold for a lot of the games that they put out this year, where like Avowed is okay, but it's not as good as Obsidian's other RPGs. Outer Worlds 2 is like good, but it's not as good as New Vegas. Or I know that apples and
Hmm.
oranges. I get that, but and then I look at something like Keeper, and I'm like, well, it's okay, but it's not as good as any of their other games
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah, I obviously I like to keep her more than you,
Of
but like
course,
even I can't look at it and be like this is Psychonauts 2 quality
yeah,
because it's not.
and
Psychonauts
it's not
2
meant to
is
be. Obviously,
no,
it's
no,
like
it's
it's but
completely different. Yeah, for sure.
um, so yeah, I think that pulls it down just slightly because I would much prefer to see, for example, I'll say like let's go South of Midnight and Doom, and those are the two titles that they have for the year. And that might mean that other stuff gets delayed. I know that it's just in a hypothetical scenario, I prefer to just have those two games and have those two games be like knock it out of the park. Um, and they just quite haven't done that yet. I think that in contrast, the games that they've secured third party wise for Game Pass have been the real highlights of the year. And their involvement in those games is temperamental and touchy at best. But I think that the main thing, rightly or wrongly, I agree with you that I feel very shaky about um, being overly generous in terms of grading them this year because I feel like there have been warning signs blaring, and I've been sort of crying wolf for a number of years, as plenty of people across the industry have. But it does seem like we're on a steam engine, and it's just sort of picking up speed, and things are happening very, very fast. And I'm kind of just very unsure about where this is going to lead, and it might be fear mongering, and it might turn out to be nothing, and everything is okay. But it's not been a great year for Xbox as an ecosystem. I think that if they manage, if to put a positive spin on it, if they manage to maintain at least some degree of the consistency and frequency of game output that they have had,
Hmm.
but they get a handle on their processes and their communication, and maybe in the nicest way possible, sort out some of their QA and stuff. I think they are like really golden in all areas, not just financially, but creatively and artistically as well. So I'm going to put them at a B, um, room for improvement, as all of these companies do. But I do think that this is one of the better years for Xbox, whatever that means.
In terms of software, first,
Yeah.
I would agree. I do think it's weird because I do think that they've made improvements to their ecosystem. Like they're leaning into Play Anywhere more than ever now, and then
Mhm.
obviously the release of the our Xbox ROG Ally has a lot to do with that. Their new hybrid strategy that they'll be implementing has a lot to do with that. Like they're really leaning into that. Still more work to be done until I think it's like a massive success. But like it is promising that like, oh, when I sold my Xbox in June, right? I had a list of every game that was Play Anywhere, every game that wasn't playing, like what ones I wanted to rebuy on Steam. And like Banishers wasn't on the Play Anywhere list, and now it's on the Play Anywhere list. So like that's one I don't need to like. That is what I like to see, like giving people these options. Obviously, doesn't it doesn't it doesn't eliminate all those other issues that
Of
I
course.
have going on, but I do think they've made strides to improve
Absolutely.
their ecosystem. And like you said, if they can, because I probably am more along the lines of I would rather have 6 8s than 2 9s.
And that's perfectly fine. Yeah. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, but like if they can just up the like get rid of some of those 7s though, get rid of some of
Yes.
the and just minimum 8. We get the 9s, but keep this cadence. Like next year looks really good. Like Fable, Halo, Gears, Forza, apparently Clockwork Revolution. I'm seeing that is coming next year as well. Like those 5 alone could make a really good year for Xbox. Not even counting like what are they going to get for Game Pass. Like I think overall gaming has been really good in 2025 in terms
Yeah.
of software, and I think 2026 looks really good as well.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I really hope that it's a meme, obviously, but I really hope that the wait till next year for Xbox is like it is 2026 is the year.
Mm-hmm.
They are pulling out literally all of their heavy hitters now, and they're going to be delivering them. And there's going to be probably other stuff that we don't know about yet.
Oh, for sure.
So as long as they, again, like to both of our points, if they make sure that all of those releases, their biggest, most important IPs, they're all hitting in the same year, as long as nothing gets delayed. If they hit and they are all bangers, it's like that's like goated status
Mm-hmm.
for their software. So I really hope that that is the case.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are our ratings for the big 3 for 2025. Thank you, David Burdett, again for submitting that. Like you can if you are a Patreon member, which again, you can get for free right now. 1 month for free or 50% off any tier that you want. Both are available at the current moment. Probably even when you're listening to this on public feeds. So go over to our social media links, click those. Appreciate everyone who does sign up and checks us out. Sam, why don't we go to well, really our topic, I
Sure.
guess, because we're both on this. So a few weeks ago, we predicted the Game Awards winners.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, we're going to be predicting the Game Award announcements. So I have some in mind,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want you to kind of kick it off. Actually, better place to start might be Sam
Okay.
Hall, who wrote and said, I want to hear yours and Sam's final definitive predictions for what that giant statue is teasing for the Game Awards. So maybe we start there. In case anyone doesn't know, Jeff Keighley has been tweeting kind of like a weird rock statue in the desert. And it's apparently teasing something. So it's been the talk of the internet. What do you think it is?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy. If all the commentary that we've heard thus far is to be believed, so that it's not God of War, it's not Diablo, it's not Elder Scrolls, I'm running out of viable options in my mind. Because it's not Doom. I here's what I think. I think, or I'm expecting. So there have been some people saying Saros. I just think, and Saros is probably going to be my game of the year next year. I think Saros is too small fry for that kind of marketing stint. I don't know that Sony would do that. I'd love it if it was. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that they pull out these kind of stops for Saros. Like the ambiguity around it seems a bit weird if it's for an already announced game that we have seen gameplay and whatnot of. This seems far more like teasing something that we don't know about yet. So my prediction for it is that it's a new IP. It's something we just don't know. Schreier has said that he's not going to tell us what it is, which would suggest that it's something worthy of not being spoiled. And he's also said that it's a good one, whatever that means. So it's probably something that will get people happy. So I'm going to assume it's something new. It's not like an established IP that we can connect it to. It's going to be a new reveal of something brand new.
It's strange because I'm looking at the Saros reveal trailer, and I think I know why people think like
I get
my
it.
first thought was Saros, because like the Saros trailer has like a big or person-esque with like 6-8 arms or whatever and like fireballs, and like when you see the statue it kind of looks like that, like it doesn't have a head but it does have like arms, and it's just interesting, right? Like it does. I get why it's there. That was probably my first thought about it too. He's obviously dismissed, Elder Scrolls, probably the big ones people were guessing. I don't know what it would be. Like maybe Darksiders. I'm trying to think like because I'm trying to think like what's a demonic thing, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not we already know it's not Diablo.
Which is strange because like that seems the most obvious because it's got like bears and like crocodilian things on it as well, not just demons. So
I see Kyle in the chat saying Remnant 3, which I don't know if that's big enough, right?
Yeah.
And then I see Nicholas and Silken it Bloodborne 2 Copiums Run High, or is it a FromSoft game? My only thing with it be like, could it be a FromSoft game? Sure. I think that would probably be big enough. But they're working on Duskbloods. So like, would they
FromSoft do multiple things at once?
Would that soon though? Like I feel like they're just
FromSoft
pumping
announced
games
things every
out,
Game
man.
Awards apparently. So I
Uh,
think there's a non-zero chance that it's FromSoft, which would be sick. But again, if it is FromSoft, I expect it to be a new thing. I don't think it's a new Dark Souls or a new Bloodborne or something. It's a new thing.
So apparently Cory Barlog came out and said, it's not God of War.
He did, yes.
Could it be his other game though?
That's where it gets interesting. My heart wants to say yes, right? Like I want to say yes.
My brain says no. My brain
Yeah,
says
so do I.
no.
Exactly the same for me. I'm like, that would be so sick if it was somehow his new thing. Looking at it, I'm like, what does that mean his new game is? That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't get that vibe at all.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we'll find out in a week, but I don't think anyone, like if Jason Schreier is accurate, which he usually is.
Yeah.
I don't know what else is like a big reveal that would warrant this, because I'm going to be pretty disappointed if it's like a AA game that like no one really cares about,
Yeah. There are two things that I thought of earlier when I saw that this question had been put in that are like swings, but thematically could fit, right? One is Dante's Inferno.
Don't tempt me, dog. That would be awesome.
I would be fully on board with it. demons,
Isn't
like
there a Souls-like game that we saw announced at a showcase a few months ago? That's like kind of the next. It's not Dante's Inferno, but like it's part of like the
yeah, I do
whatever
remember
the
seeing something
you
like
know
that.
we only
Yeah.
saw like a I don't even know if it was gameplay, but it had a weird name for that
Mm,
whatever the play is.
yeah. So thematically it works. I don't think that is what it is, but like it could theoretically it could be.
Is that
Um
big enough though? Like would
well, that's the thing. That's why I'm like I'm just chucking ideas out. The other thing that I thought of that would be like I think would could be big enough and tangentially could link in, but would suggest that it's really going through a bit of a renovation in terms of what the series is. Could it be something crazy and like a massive divergence away from what we've seen thus far? Could it be something crazy like Devil May Cry 6 or something?
it's not the worst shout. Like it has. I mean, it looks a little dark. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like it
but
looks a
that's what I
little.
mean. Like
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
was if like Devil May Cry 6 was going like we are not necessarily like rebooting, but in the same way of like what Resident Evil 7 did for Resident Evil, of like we're gonna take a creative swing in a slightly different direction, twinge it more towards like a horror, dark thing. You'll still have character action. It's been a good amount of time since DMC5. Maybe. And I think Devil May Cry would be big enough to warrant something like this, but in the same way of like Cory Barlog, my brain says no. Like this seems a bit too out there to be Devil May Cry, even if it was creatively going in a different direction.
If we hadn't just got one, I would say it's like Doom related,
Yeah.
but we just got a Doom. So
And like we know, I think Dark Ages is getting DLC, right? But like this isn't big enough. That's not big enough for this. So
what's Quake about? This could be a Quake game.
I
It's a bit long.
don't
Bit, I don't know. I've never played Quake, but
I
like,
don't think so.
no.
No.
Hmm. Just trying to think. Like, it's either. I feel like it's either a Souls game or a first-person shooter. That's where I'm at.
Hmm.
And I don't know how many options that leaves us with, but like, what? I mean, I guess
Yeah,
it could be an RPG too, but like,
sure.
I don't know. It's very interesting. Whatever it is, just see so many people talking about this statue.
I mean, my only hope is that even if it's something underwhelming in comparison to what we're conjuring up,
That's the
I just
hope.
hope that it isn't like an actual, like, real tangible disappointment where I'm like, "Oh, that was completely worthless."
Pillars
I'm
of
like,
Eternity
"Oh."
3.
Y I mean, like, I guess, like, I could see it, but meh,
It's
meh.
what's that Moon Studio game that No Rest for the Wicked console ports?
Yep.
That would be so lackluster.
It's actually just like a delayed, marketing beat for Oblivion Remastered. That's what it is, it's for.
Well, that's why everyone thought it was Elder Scrolls, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, they do look like Daedra. There's the crocodilian thing, like, there's a big crocodile
now, did
monster
Jason
enemy
Schreier
in
specifically
Oblivion.
say it's not Elder Scrolls 6 or not Elder Scrolls?
I think he said Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, Morrowind remake? I say this as someone who's never played Morrowind and
Yeah, I mean,
has like what imagery would this
I
even?
don't really I wouldn't necessarily correlate like, if it was Elder Scrolls, that statue is very, very clearly closest to Oblivion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So maybe like, but like,
Yeah,
is that exciting? I don't know.
yeah. Probably not like as exciting as people want it to be.
Matty Plays will lose his mind, I'm sure. But outside of that,
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll wait and see what it is. But Sam, you brought some predictions. You
I
wanna kick
brought a
us
whole
off here?
load of
All right.
predictions.
It's can't wait. Why don't you kick us off?
Okay.
Don't
So
steal mine.
first off, I'll go one at a time rather than rattle them off. We get an RE9 trailer again.
Oh, what? I can't
And
believe that.
you'll never guess who's in the trailer. They are finally going to show Leon, I think. Actually going to reveal that Leon's in the game, playable character.
If I speak, I'm in trouble. That's all I could. That's all I can say on the matter. All right. I will comment no further on Resident Evil 9.
You saw nothing.
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot, in fact.
Clearly. But yeah, that's my first prediction.
Yeah, I like I said, good one. Mine's a little more out of the box.
Okay.
Well, maybe if it depends if you believe the rumors. Half-Life 3 is real, everyone.
Wow.
I'm going full in
Okay.
on the rumor mill. I think there's too many things going on for this not to be lining up. We're gonna see a reveal trailer, and we're gonna get an announcement bundled with the Steam Machine. Maybe I almost said Steam Machine release date, but I think they'll probably wait on that, see how this RAM affects it. But I do think we get a big Steam announcement here, and I that's what I'm putting all my money. Half-Life 3.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite that confident.
You're not on the reveal train. The leakers haven't convinced you.
I mean, I think Half-Life 3 is real. I'm just not certain we see it at the Game Awards.
My thinking is this is the biggest show
Of
of the
course.
year for
Yeah.
video games. If you're releasing a new piece of hardware and a seminal game, ideally probably to sell that hardware, what better place do you have? Like a blog post isn't going to do it. No one's going to tune in for a Valve showcase, right? Like this is the spot.
Yeah. You're not wrong. But Valve dropped the whole news about their hardware lineup just randomly out of nowhere. They didn't need no event or build up, So I think Half-Life 3 will break the internet whenever it happens. And I think Valve know that. And I think that maybe Valve aren't entirely altruistic, but I think there might be something in them that is like, well, whenever we say, in the same way that GTA can go whenever it wants. Half-Life 3, I think, can do the same. So there might be something where Gaben or other people at Valve, they're like, we'll let the Game Awards have their thing. People can expect it and then not get it and be like, damn it. And then, boom, we hit them with it shortly thereafter. Whether that's still this year or early next, closer to the release of the hardware, uncertain. But yeah, I don't think that they need to hit this marketing beat necessarily. I understand why they might. If they do, I get it, but I don't think they have to. So in my opinion, I don't think they will.
Well, we'll see next week when Half-Life 3 is coming out. I'm betting
Okay.
it's gonna be February. If I was a betting man.
Okay. I'll throw a slightly spicier one out there then to meet you. Not as spicy, but I say in some fashion, whether it's a gameplay trailer, an in-engine thing, we're going to see something of Blade.
Ooh, I don't think so.
That's okay.
I wanna be with you on this. I think it's too soon.
I think it probably is as well. But my only mindset here is that it's been a couple of years since it was announced at the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just reminding people that it exists, because it's been like complete radio silence since then. Just give people another little peek. You don't have to put a date or a year on it, obviously, because it won't be next year. So just show people, maybe like end the trailer with a stinger, a little glimpse of gameplay, something like that.
So that was revealed 2023, if I remember correctly.
Believe so, yes.
So my understanding from what other people told me, all right, from their people with actual information, is that this game was announced and they didn't really start working on it yet when it was announced. Like,
Sure.
so I just don't know how much in 2 years they could actually have to show. Maybe they just say like, hey, this is like a little snippet or something, like a vertical slice. It's like, this is what's coming along. Maybe some announcement, like a casting announcement to go along with it.
Mhm.
Like, we got this person, like then I could see it being worthwhile. But it is, yeah, very no, I wouldn't put money on that one if it was me.
Okay, fair enough.
I would put money on the next one that I'm gonna say. That's the wrong one. Resonance, A Plague Tale. We're gonna get the gameplay trailer and release date. Show revealed the Xbox showcase. We've heard absolutely nothing since then. It's coming 2026. I think they're done with the game. Like, the voice actress she's done with the game. I know that, but like, I if I had to guess, this is an early 2026 game. At least I hope so. Like, everything I've been told leads me to believe that. So I think we see gameplay trailer. I think it's going to look quite different compared to what like Amicia's gameplay is. I would expect more action than stealth, which hopefully is just for this spinoff. I just wanted it, but why don't we drop a March date in there?
That's not too busy, is it? I think that's pretty.
If it was up to me,
it'd be
if it was up to me, it'd be January 13th.
Okay. Yeah.
Right when I get back from my
Yeah.
trip.
Well, I mean, that was one of my predictions as well. So
Okay.
I fully expect it to be there. Agreed.
We are two of the biggest Plague Tale fans on the internet.
Rachy, goddamn, with that comment.
Quantic Dream have to show their face in that show. Detroit Become Human has waited too long ago. So fun fact, they're doing their 3v3 multiplayer game right now. And they're ramping up for that. I know this because Jampack Sam dropped a bunch of beta codes in the XEP Discord. He also did I think an ad for them. So they're really ramping up that at the moment. And then they're working on the Star Wars game, right? Which is, from what I understand, 2027.
Christ knows.
So yeah, I wouldn't bet on Quantic Dream showing up here with any new announcement.
Yeah. I'm going to say it. I'm going to will it into existence. You said it with Half-Life, right? I'm going to will it into existence.
Banjo-Kazooie, I'm with you.
No. Oh, okay. You just got that, Kev. Don't be greedy. Cory Barlog.
Yes.
Is at the Game Awards. And his game, whatever it is debuted. I don't know where it is in the show. I don't expect it to be an intergalactic style closer. Depends on what it is, you know? Because I think that the next game from the director of God of War 2018 could be a closer, but it depends on what they want to show. If it's just like a teaser, I think it could be anywhere, really. But we will see what it is. No release date because it won't be next year, obviously. But we'll get a little taste. Probably smaller than what we got for Intergalactic, but a taste of what the game will be.
I want to say you're right because I've been hearing about this Cory Barlog game for feels like 10 years at this point. But I think its placement would really depend on how much they spent on this project. Because like, Is it a God of War? It's not God of War, but is it a God of War development budget, or is it a Astrobot development budget? You know what I'm
I would
saying?
wager the former. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a big investment.
Does this have 2 numbers or 3 numbers before the million?
Probably 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think.
I hope it happens, just so we can finally see what he's been working on. Just because I also love 2018 so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's especially because all the scuttlebutt has been that it's not like technically a new IP.
I forgot about that. Yeah. It's a
it
new
might be an
game, but
established
not
IP, but will feel like a new IP.
Castlevania.
That's been a running theory for a long time. And there's another thing that I saw going around, which I don't believe for a second, but would be kind of insane if they like I can envision it, but I just don't think there's any world where it happens. There's been that thing about there's going to be a big new Star Wars announcement soon, like a Star Wars game announcement.
No, I would be pretty disappointed if he was
So would
working on
I.
Star Wars.
So would I. But the only reason that there is connection there is that Barlog did say, I think in 2020 or something, in an interview once, that it would be cool to make a Mandalorian game. So people are like, what if it is? I don't think it is.
Remember we had that fake
I would hope it's not.
Mandalorian footage?
Yeah.
That went around.
Yeah. But like I can envision a over-the-shoulder God of War style game where you're a Mandalorian. I get it.
So can I, but that's not what I want from Corey
No,
Barlog.
it's not what I want either. So hopefully it's not that.
That can be there, just not from him. All right, I want to make let's make that clear. Kyle says, "Here's my prediction: Arknights, Enfield, Wuthering Waves, one of the Hoyo games, etc., will all be advertised." Well, yeah, you got to pay the bills.
Hopefully not, but of course they will.
All right, we'll truck on here with my third prediction. This one's gonna sound ridiculous. All right.
Okay, I'm already embraced.
Mina the Hollower. Shadow drop.
Ooh.
I don't want this to happen because fantasy, like fantasy's over. It's a wrap. All right, I won.
Yeah,
okay,
pretty much all right.
But how, like, it's kind of weird to me that Jason Schreier was just doing like an article about them before, like, Game Awards coming up. Like, why did he choose now to talk to Yacht Club? Right. Just seemed a little like, maybe are they they getting ready for some Game Awards stuff? They got to put this out. Like, hey, we're kind of in financial straits here. It was delayed. It was supposed to come out on October. Obviously delayed. They didn't give a new date. People expect, and I kind of expect, to be in 2026. I think that's probably the most realistic. But you put out this news piece like, hey, we really need money. You drop it on the biggest stage of the year.
Yeah.
It's a good way to generate hype, generate sales, really help Yacht Club out, I think. Now, I want to say, I don't think this one will happen. This is just a wild, I'm shooting for the stars prediction because I think that would be a hype moment, and I really want Yacht Club to be around.
I think that's a logical presentation you just given. I don't believe it.
I wouldn't either.
I'd love to for my own
Charlie
sake.
connecting strings over
but
here.
Maybe I don't think it's out of the question because I can't remember the verbiage they used. They didn't give a date, but I think they did say that it was like a minor delay or something, right?
Yeah. I don't even think they used the word indefinitely. I think like that's just how we have
they
to
didn't.
describe it.
Just,
We just have to describe it that way.
Yeah. So a minor delay, sort of a small delay, a couple of months, that might work.
Yes. Listen, my real dream is they say, hey, we're working on Shovel Knight 3D. Here's a trailer for that. Now, that's not going to happen because that project's been put on hold. But
yeah,
one of these days.
Here's a spicy one. Not well, in the vein of shadow drops, shall we say? Expedition
Oh,
33.
you're taking mine.
Whatever the free DLC thing is that they are working on. And when I say shadow drop, I don't know if it was something that they would actually legitimately shadow drop, but I'm going to use shadow drop to encompass like within a day or two of the
Yeah,
Game
yeah, yeah.
Awards. So it could be like tomorrow or something. Tomorrow comes.
DLC comes.
Um, yeah. So I think that we see whatever that is, which sort of makes sense. They're going to have a very good night, I would imagine. So why not ride that wave and show that there is new stuff, whatever that is, coming to the game? So we'll see it.
Okay, so you didn't actually take mine, but I do want to
Okay.
piggy. I do want my fifth one here. I'm going to piggyback on top of yours.
Okay.
Expedition 33, Switch 2 port.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
They're
yeah.
up there accepting their game of the year. Trying to. Jeff Keighley says, "Wrap it up." All right, yeah, you had your 30 seconds. They have to say, Switch 2 coming now, out now, coming 2020, something. We
Mm,
will, I think just the amount of time they're going to be up on stage, like they'll have opportunities to plug multiple things if they really want to, but like DLC Switch 2 version, I think one of those things is pretty likely.
yeah. Yeah. I think both are going to happen. To be honest, I think that in the same way I justified the DLC riding the wave, I think announcing the port at the same time, maybe coinciding it, like it's not only available on Switch 2, but you also have brand new content for all players available today or tomorrow. I think that would be a logical thing to do. So I'm with you there. Riding the Corey Barlog God of War wave, I'll throw it out there. I'm just gonna say that we will finally see this Metroidvania thing for God of War, whatever it
Mm.
is. I think we'll see it and we'll get a release date. I think they'll do the whole shebang, like they'll unveil it and they'll say that it's coming. I don't expect it to be before Saros.
April, May.
Yeah, I expect it to be shortly thereafter. Sort of, I could even see it trailing towards like the beginning of summer to fill in that gap between Saros and Wolverine, gap things out a little bit more. But it depends on, I guess, what other third-party exclusives that they have. So, yeah, I think we see it. It would be sick if it was before Saros, to be fair. Like if it is a smaller like double A game, which it seems to be the case, I wouldn't care if it was out in late January or February, um,
Mm-hmm.
as a nice treat. Because they did that in a way with Valhalla for Ragnarok, which obviously that was an in-house thing. This game is being developed externally, but they showed Valhalla at the Game Awards, and then that was out in like a week or two's time from that point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they do a similar thing here, where it's like this is not a DLC, but a brand new game, and you can experience it next month or something.
I'm I'm down for whenever they release.
Mhm.
Like Metroidvania is not usually my jam, and maybe they'll show me something, be like, oh, I really don't want to play that, but I can't imagine. Like I like God of War, I like Ragnarok, I love 2018. I'm excited to see where the story goes, and this I assume will be like required for whenever they do continue the main story. Like I assume they'll have references, right? Like you don't think?
Well, I mean, the supposed placement of the game is that um, it's a prequel, right? Like, and not a prequel to what is coming, but a prequel to what's already happened, where it's taking Kratos back to Greece. And by taking him back to Greece, that inherently has to be prior to the events of at least some of the Greek saga. So,
But when I imagine if they're making it, it'll tie in somehow. Like,
I mean, it will, but it depends on what you mean by tie in. I think it will tie in to the existing Greek saga, but I
Okay.
don't know that it will necessarily have ramifications going forwards.
See, in my mind, they would probably like introduce a character or like a plot,
Mm,
or like
I don't
something
think
that
so.
would like reappear in the newer like 3D game. Because I feel like
I
that's a TV show trope, right? Like you like a flashback introduces a character. Oh, they're supposed to be dead. They clearly come back in like the next present day season, right?
sure. I think if there's anything like that, it's going to be much more minor than that, and I think it will be the other way round, where if um this game, I think if this Metroidvania was being developed internally at Santa Monica, I think that the likelihood of what you said goes up significantly because this is going to be a smaller game made by an external team that's licensing the IP. I don't think that they're going to want to have it carrying anything meaningful, like weight
Mm,
wise, that is going to impact Santa Monica's God of War games. But I don't think that that excludes God of War Egypt whenever that comes out, having like Kratos in dialogue just reference something that
okay.
happened, you know?
Yes. I see David Burdett has joined the chat. Shout out, David. Like I said, you can check out his content in the description down below. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. But he's also over here teasing me. He says, Sam and I are just over here smiling about the game you'll love, Kevin. I- How could you do this to me? How, how could you both do this to me?
I don't know
All
what you're talking
right.
about.
I have one last prediction,
Okay.
and this is also a pie in the sky. Kevin Dream. All right.
Okay.
And I'm keeping it vague because this could mean multiple things.
Mm.
Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch 2. Now
Okay, but what do you mean?
I'm not clarifying whether it's a Switch 2 version of Ultimate like they've been doing
Mm,
or a brand new tease for Smash 6 or whatever, whatever comes after Ultimate, or I'm leaving it open, and I don't think it's anytime soon. I don't think it's like 2026, or unless they've had some other like Sakurai not working on or pulling double duty, which would be crazy. Like in my mind, this game is probably 2027, 2028, like a little whiles away. Maybe they give the ultimate Switch 2 update to keep people entertained until then. But Jeff just has such a intertwining relationship with Smash Brothers. Like
sure.
we got the Joker reveal, we've got Sephiroth like he loves Smash Brothers at the Game Awards, and Nintendo seems to only like giving him Smash Brothers at the Game Awards. They don't really give much else for him to announce. So that's my last one. I'm ready to be disappointed, but if Smash is there, you can expect me to freak out.
Okay. I appreciate the vigor with which you've chucked out that horrifically ambiguous prediction. To each their own. I guess we'll see. I mean, I have a number of others. I'll rattle these off just as a bit of fun. If you want to say anything about any of them, stop me. Um, I think we see the Black Flag remake, Assassin's Creed. I think we see that from
Yeah, I would
Ubisoft.
agree. I would agree with that.
Whatever Control Resonant is, I think we see that.
I'm a
Um,
little up in the air on that one. Like, I know the IP was trademarked, but like that could just be like we're
could be.
starting development on. Listen, man, if we get control to the you and me, perfect people to react to. We're over
Oh
here.
yes,
We see Alan Wake 2 DLC and Jesse, oh my god, like
Game of the Year.
yeah, it's game of the year every year. It is, but yeah, no, that would be one for
Yeah.
I would pop off for.
Um, I've put release dates for both Phantom Blade Zero and Pragmata.
Ooh, I feel like Pragmata's kind of going under the radar, right? Like in terms of all of their announce like Onimusha and Resident Evil. I feel like Pragmata's kind of being like the forgotten one. I hope we get a release date, and I hope it's not within the first 3 months because it's a crowded window. Give that room some time to give that game some room to breathe, right? Like we want some success.
Yeah.
What was the other one you said? Pragmata and
Phantom Blade Zero.
yeah, they said they would give us a release window before the end
They're,
of the
they're
year.
running out of
So
time.
unless they just lied to us.
Yeah, which maybe. I'm gonna say that Starfield DLC, the second DLC, gets a trailer.
I don't know about that. I think they're kind of taking their time. Like, unless I think PS5 port would be more likely, unless
But do
it's
you
one
not
and
think
the
that
same.
they,
But
yeah, can join the two together? They say like,
they should. Will they? I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, fair,
Bethesda makes weird decisions lately.
fair. What else have I got? Oh, don't know how you feel about this. Directive 8020 release date after the delay.
It's supposed to be Q1 2026.
Yep.
The Little Nightmares is out. It came out 2 months ago. They've, I assume, switched to working on this, to finishing it because it was also meant to come out in October. I hope so
Yeah.
because I'm looking forward to it. But also, like, if they want to release it next Halloween, I'm like, makes more sense. But something tells me they're not going to do that. Like, they really want to get the game out for probably financial reasons.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've said this about 85,000 times in the past 6 months. But we're going to get a roster reveal for Tokon, right? Like of some kind. Anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on. Yeah, though that is the entire roster. They've already shown it. I don't know what people are expecting. Why do you think there's more characters?
Yeah, it's 8
Idiots.
characters.
Idiots. It's a 4v4. You've got 4 and 4. Duh.
Yeah, you get to mix them up. Sometimes you'll have that
right.
4. Sometimes you have the other 4.
An interesting one that I don't know how I feel about, because I don't know where else it would happen, but I also feel like they wouldn't want to take the risk. How are you feeling about the prospect of a re-reveal of some kind for Marathon? Because they have to start talking about it somewhere.
Not feeling great about it, Bob.
Neither am I.
But Marathon just feels like at this point, it's gonna come out to a whimper.
Yeah.
Like, and it sucks to say because like I want Bungie to do well, but I think with Arc Raiders kind of like just being apparently so much better than what people played during the Marathon close test, like they'll probably do it. I don't know how much they'll show, like maybe just a release date, like, hey, quick reminder, Marathon's coming out. But like I can very well see Marathon coming out, nobody caring, and them kind of just like, we gotta move on quickly from this.
Yeah. I mean, the reports are already coming out that Destiny 3 is in very, very early development, right? So I think like they're already, assuming those reports are correct, already priming themselves to be like, yep, a few months down the line, we just, maybe a bit hyperbolic, we pull the plug, so to speak, on major content plans for Marathon, and we just move on to the next thing, try to salvage themselves that way.
Yeah, I have no faith in Marathon, unfortunately. But we do have some questions in the chat. Ray Chi says, what TV shows are they going to announce? We know they show TV shows in the Keeley Awards.
They do. I don't know. I don't know that we're going to get any announcements necessarily. Is there anything that we know is happening that we haven't got a trailer for yet?
The God of War TV show.
Yeah, there's not going to be any cast because they've only just begun casting for that, so I don't know they aren't going to have announcements ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think Horizon
the movie. Maybe they could have a casting announcement for that.
Maybe a Ghost of Tsushima thing.
Oh yeah, maybe, because that's been. I mean, both Horizon, I mean, Ghost definitely, but Horizon, I think, has a chance as well to maybe have a casting announcement of some kind. Depends on if, like, because they could synergize it as well if they wanted to show like a trailer for Horizon Frontiers, the mobile thing. Maybe they can join that.
Crash Bandicoot the animated series
Mm,
coming to Netflix.
mm.
And then whoever the voice actor, which will undoubtedly be a mistake for Crash, is going to come out on stage.
It's Chris Pratt.
Don't just don't do it. Don't do it.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah,
He comes out spinning.
he just does his Mario voice, but Crash catchphrases.
Yeah.
And then Soken, it says, by the way, did you see Arc Raiders didn't even make it to round 2 of the TGA player's voice?
That
Did
is
see
funny.
that.
That is funny.
I don't know what to make of that. I really thought it would.
That is actually quite surprising. I mean, it's funny, but that is surprising.
Yeah, I
I
feel
guess
like
Shroud didn't make the argument strong enough.
But also, like, it has so many players. Are they just not voting for it? Like,
They're too busy playing. That's what's happening.
maybe. I don't know. But that vote is not really anything. Like, wasn't the final 2 1 year like Sonic and Genshin?
Wukong won last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. I said vote for Sonic Crossworld. So.
Hey, I'm on board.
All right. And you got any more predictions?
What do I have? Do I have anything else? Let's see. If oh yeah, the Total War game that's supposedly being shown. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say that is the Star Wars thing that's being teased.
I hope so.
I think that makes too much sense, really. They've done obviously Warhammer, so they've worked with licensed IPs before, and a RTS Star Wars game would slap. So I think we see it there. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that would be cool. Commanding armies of stormtroopers, AT-ATs. Yeah.
Space
Makes
battles
sense.
as well. Is there anything else? Oh, I mean, we talked about it briefly. The last thing I'll throw out, which is like kind of a meme, but also I don't think it's a meme because it probably is going to happen. I do think From Software show up, and I would caveat it that it's not Night Rain or Dusk Bloods related. I think it is something else.
You really think they're going to make a new game?
I think so, because I haven't, to be clear, I haven't like been paying super close attention, but I do remember like half a year, maybe more than that ago, there was a report or something going around that there was a code named project, a multi-platform code named project that was supposedly set to release next year. And that obviously doesn't mean Duskbloods because that's Nintendo Switch exclusive. So if I'm remembering that correctly, that would suggest that they have something next year. And they've got multiple teams at FromSoft, so I don't think it's out of the question. What it is, if it, that again, like we were talking about, that could be what the statue is, and I could see FromSoft doing something like that.
Kingsfield coming back.
You've cracked it.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Wrap it
up.
I'm
a genius. Well, tune in to our live stream next week at the Game Awards to see all of these predictions come true, obviously, because we are so smart, so intelligent, and handsome, if I do say so myself. Sam, that will wrap us up this week. Can you please let everyone know where they can find you, my friend?
People can find me anywhere and everywhere at Sam Heaney, Heaney.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon everywhere. It's a 1-7 I-O-7A. Follow us at Save the Game Media over on Blue Sky to stay updated all of our latest content. Before you go, if you could, please subscribe to the channel if you are not. We are almost at 1,100 subscribers. And like the video, it does help us get noticed. Thank you all so much for watching us. We will see you next week. Goodbye.